Hey guys, it's Maymay, and you may have seen me make these backgrounds when we were testing out the Pink and Main blender brush, and I loved how they turned out. But I told you we would turn them into some cards, and that's what we're doing today. I love these guys. I'm going to start with this one because I think this is the easiest one. It needs the least kind of prep work. So what we're going to do first is just find a piece to mat this on. I have a feeling one of these would look so pretty, and I'm hoping... Yep, it's this peach. I think this peach color is so pretty, and I think this would be so pretty as like the mat for this card. So I'm gonna put. Oh wait, that pink too though, huh? I don't know. I like the peach. Oh, let me look at all of them and just make sure before we do too much. The navy's pretty too. I'm gonna go with the peach. I think it's pretty. It's the one I wanted to use. So I'm gonna pull this one out and I'm gonna cut myself a piece to mat that on. So first things first, I'm going to trim this down a little bit. This guy should be 4 by 5 1/4. It is, but I want to give a little more of that polka dot room to show in the background. So I'm going to cut 1/4 of an inch off all the way around. Like I'm literally taking 1/4 of an inch off of each side. And this is what I was telling you about. Whenever you are, not really feeling creative and don't really know what to do, if you just make some backgrounds, when it's time to put a card together for someone, you'll have these backgrounds right at your fingertips and you can just play and turn them into what you want. Now, somehow I messed up and somehow I got this over to one side, but that might look okay. I might can put something here, kind of decorate here, or I could trim a little bit off here and even it up. Let's do that. Let's even it up. I must have trimmed some off and not realized it, but that looks good like that. And now I think what I'll do, I think I will round the edges on this guy. I think that'll look good too. So using my corner rounder and the 1/2 inch corner rounder side, I'm going to round the corners of this. See, that really makes that pop too. Isn't that cool? Okay, let's go to our peach color and cut out a background. So for this, I want to cut it down. I want to cut this piece 5 1/4. 5.5 by 4 1/4. I want this to be the whole background of the card. So I tell you what, let's cut 4 1/4 first so I can get 2 out of this strip. So I'm not wasting any of that. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I want that piece to live on here on a card base. So put this here. See how pretty that is? I love that with that pop, with that with the polka dots. I'm kind of thinking it needs something here between the two. You guys have asked me before, how do you make cards look professional? Which I don't know that I have the most professional looking cards. But one way is that separation between these two. Sometimes you just need a little something right there. And I think something maybe in this kind of green color. Let me see what I can find. So look what I did. This is the green paper from that same paper collection with the polka dots. Isn't this beautiful? And look how well this matches together. That looks really good. So what I want to do is I'm going to round the corners of this to kind of match. I cut this guy 1/4 of an inch bigger than this. I measured this. It was 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. So I cut this 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. And now I'm going to round the edges to match. To me, this is one of the cards that I make that I say let the paper do the work. We did that beautiful background and it's there and we need to use it. And I think this will be so pretty. So we put this on here like this and then we bring this back over here and look how that just pops off of the polka dot. That's so pretty, isn't it? Now what we want to do is decide what dimension we're going to do. I'm going to glue the thank you directly to the green piece and then I'm going to put foam on the green piece onto the polka dots. That's where I'm going to add my dimension. So get my glue out. Like so, and then glue that down. Just being mindful that I've got the same distance around, all the way around there. Just like that. And now let's put some foam on the back of it. So I got a couple pieces of Scotty there. Let's peel the backer off of that. And then it's going to live on top of here. And I want to kind of center it. You wouldn't have to. You could put it on an angle if you wanted, see like that. I'm going to center it. That's kind of the way I roll. So place that down like so. I'm looking in the camera to make sure I got it pretty straight. I think these colors are so pretty. Okay, let's get a card base ready. So I got a piece of cardstock here. I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. And this is some Not Your Mama's cardstock. So I'm going to flip it over and score both sides at 5 1/2. I find I get a much better fold on this particular cardstock if I go ahead and do it on both sides. And you can technically do that on any cardstock, really. You could flip it over and score both sides. Line that up. Then I'm going to crease this down with my bone folder. There we go. All right, and now we can add our front piece. So this piece is going to mount directly and cover the entire card front. And one cool way to do this is just to pick up the card itself and just line it all up together like this on your work surface, and then you can smash it down and everything will match up. Now, you could totally round the corners of this if you wanted to, because you could round the whole card. I think I may do that. I think I might like how that looks. So let's see what happens when we do. What's the worst? We won't do it next time, right? If we don't like it this time, we won't do it next time. But I think it's going to look good. So there's one side. We might even just want to round this side. Nope, I want to round them both. But see, this is what I was saying. If you make up these backgrounds and you just put them into a file folder in your craft room, when you have some time to sit down and put some cards together, look, isn't that cute? I love how this turned out. I know who I'm sending this to as well. I'm gonna put it aside. I've got it, that one earmarked. Okay, now let's work on another card. Now I want to work on this one. I absolutely love this background, and the minute I finished it, I knew exactly what I was doing. I'm actually going to use a stamp set to kind of play in this spot. So this is my stamp set called Sorry, and I love the little dandelions. We call them dandelions. I don't know if that's exactly what they're called, but the little Make-A-Wish flowers. I think these would be so pretty coming off the page and into and onto this. So that's what we're going to play with. Okay, so I've got the large dandelion here, and I know I want it to live in this area. Then I'm going to take the smaller dandelion, and I want it to come somewhere down here, okay? So I've got them laying like that. But I want to make sure I leave myself room for the sentiment, and I've got enough room for it there, even if I move it down a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to flip this guy over, and I'm going to ink this up just like so. I want to make sure I get ink everywhere, all those little petals, all those little pieces. All right, and then this guy, I want it to live kind of in front of that little box we made. I should have protected my work surface, but I didn't. We'll be all right. Now I just want to make sure I get a good stamp there. Look how pretty that is on there. Isn't that perfect for that background? I think it is. All right, and now let's do the little one. So I'm going to flip him over like this and ink him up really well. All right, and then I want him to live somewhere kind of down here. Like that. And he's kind of halfway been blown off already. Isn't that pretty? Okay, then what I want to do is do my word sorry. I'm going to bring my ink over again, and let's ink up that word. Okay, I want it to be about right here. Oh, I want it to be straight, so let's pay attention. One thing I would suggest, if you have already made your backgrounds like this, in order not to mess them up or to ruin your backgrounds, you might want to use your stamp positioner. I'm not. I'm kind of being a rebel here. All right, and then I want to put For Your Loss underneath here. I just think this would be beautiful for this card. And then I'm going to stamp that underneath here. Perfect. Look how pretty that is. Now what I want to do is I want to take the little, I'm going to call it dandelion petal. I don't think these are dandelions. I think these have a different name. But this little petal that you can do to kind of fly away, to do little flyaways, I'm going to take it and I'm just going to do some of these as if they were kind of coming off of our little piece there, of our little flower, like so. I think I might have some come off the back of here. That's pretty. I like that. Very simple. Exactly what I was thinking when I saw that background. I thought this was beautiful. I love how that looks. I may do some stitching around there. I don't know. I don't want to mess it up. I think that's really pretty. Let's go ahead and put this onto a card base. And because when I did my card base, I already designed it to be a little bit smaller than the card itself, it's already cut perfect, and we can just pop it up on some foam. So this is just going to pop right here on the front of our card. Make sure I have it pretty even all the way around. And there we go. There's another card. And unfortunately, I know who this card is going to too, but that's 2 cards made for me to put in the mail right away. So there is that one. And now let's do the last one. Look how cute this background is. I love the colors coming just from one side. For this one, I want to play with a different stamp set. So for this one, I'm going to play with a stamp set called the Bee's Knees. I just thought this needed this little honeycomb because of these bees, and then the little bee and a little sentiment. So let's play with this. So I'm going to get my honeycomb stamp. So I got myself a piece of yellow paper, and I'm going to ink up this little honeycomb, and I'm going to stamp it on the yellow. I think it'll be pretty on there. I may not use the whole honeycomb. I don't know. I just want to get at least some of it onto my page. So I'm going to stamp it low down here at the bottom because I'm going to cut it out. There we go. Very cute. All right, let's cut that away. So I'm just going to cut around it, just kind of fussy cut it and leave a little edge around it. Not try to be perfectly on the line. Just kind of cut and leave a little trim. So here's my little honeycomb. I think it's going to go somewhere down here like so. And I also want to do the little bee and maybe pop it up here. Or I could put this coming in this way and put the bee on that side. Oh, I think I like this side better. I normally wouldn't do this side, but I like it better. So let's do the bee. So I'm just going to stamp the little bee onto a little scrap piece of paper. It's cardstock, not paper, but you see what I'm saying. And then I'm going to fussy cut it. So let's bring this back over and let's see what our little bee looks like, kind of popped up like that. That's cute. I like it. And then I want to put a sentiment across here. So let me pick my sentiment. So I got another little scrap of paper, and the little sentiment I want to use is the one that says, "Have been thinking of you." So let me get a little block for it here. And we'll stamp this onto our paper. Too cute. I love that. All right, let's cut this out. That's cute. Okay, let's see where we want to put it. Let's bring this guy back over. And do I want to put it here? Do I want to put it in the middle of the hive? I think I want to cut it down a little bit more. I think it's still a little bit big. Yep, I like it cut down a little bit more. And I think I might put it on an angle. I don't do that enough. I don't play with angles enough. I think that's cute, right? And I could put it up here. Oh, I could put it up there. That's kind of cute in the yellow. Or to that side. Oh my goodness, there's so many options. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I really like it in the yellow like that. I think it really pops. And then just to have this little guy down here like this. I don't know. Now I have an idea. Let's turn it around. And let's see if we like the little bee up top. And something like this. And then do we like this down here? I kind of like that. Okay, so see, you just got to play a little bit and find what you like. So let's put some foam on the back of these guys. Now let's place them back if I can remember where they go. I think I can. So I've been thinking of you is going to go down here. This is a good one, right? Because don't we have somebody to send that to? We've been thinking of a lot of folks, haven't we? And then peel the backers off of this one. I might have done, if you're going to do this, if you're going to kind of mimic this, I might have made this yellow paper a little paler because of the yellow, but I still think it works. I think it's fine. Now notice I put my foam on the bottom of the bee. I know I'm going to put her somewhere down here like this, or maybe, probably over there like that. But I only needed foam on the bottom because I'm going to glue this directly to the hive that's already lifted up. And so that'll make sense when you're doing this at home. So I'm going to peel that off, add a little glue to the top portion of her. Just like so. I guess it could be a he. And now I just need to put this on a card base. Okay, so I have my card base, and this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this black check or this charcoal check as the little background piece, and this guy is going to live like this. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to glue this one down, straight down to my little charcoal piece. Then I'm going to glue it straight down to the card base too, because I have plenty of dimension on the front of the card with all my little sentiment and my bee and my hive and stuff like that. So I'm going to glue this down like so. I just thought that little bit of virtually black around the edge would really help the sentiment, the bee, and the honeycomb tie in. And I just love how this looks. I just love it. All right, and now this guy gets glued directly down to the card. And this will cover up the whole front of the card. So we can do it like we did the other one, where we just stand them up together. Tap them in. Press that down. I love this card. This is really, really cute. Really cute. Let me put my pen back in my glue. So there you go, guys. 3 cards made from those 3 backgrounds we did the other day when we were playing with our blender. And look how pretty they turned out. I love this. So easy, so simple, and a lot of fun to play with backgrounds when you don't really know what you want to use them for. And see how I was able to turn them in to 3 cards I can definitely use. I do have people to send every one of these to, actually, even someone I've been thinking about. So neat, huh? I love how these turned out. Let me know in the comments below which is your favorite. My favorite, I'm torn between these 2. I really like how this one turned out because I stepped outside my box and played with color in a different way. I really like this one because, like I said, it kind of pushed my limits and I did some things different, but I love this one too. I don't know. I love them all. There you go. All right, guys, here's what I want you to do. If you're making backgrounds and using them for cards, even if you haven't turned them into a card yet, snap some pictures of them and share it with us over on our customer gallery. We have over 2,000 posts to give you inspiration on our customer gallery. It's at maymaymadeit.com. Just go to the tab the button that says more and let that drop down and you'll see it say gallery and you can add your photos there. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I thank you so much for being here with me today. And until next time, bye-bye.